puts the foot to the floorboard, back underway. 25 laps remain in the Rosselli Northern. Salute to the troops 100. Into turn number 1 and 2. Friesen's going to take a look into the inside as Rudolph right there for third. Shepard rides in fourth. Here comes Mike Maresca making something happen on the top side. Oh, he gets into the back end of Lindbergh. They continue on into turn number 3 and 4.
And Lindbergh put his foot down, drove around the outside of Maresca once again as they're still wheel to wheel this time. Bringing it into turn at number 1. Maresca falls in line. Meanwhile, ahead in the field, Tim Fuller still in control. 2 car lengths over Stuart Friesen.
Maresca says, I've had enough of these shenanigans. I want to go to the front. He can't get by the 28 of Lindbergh, though, as he'll regroup one more time into turn number 3. Meanwhile, Fuller, your race leader, bringing it across the stripe as he has opened up a 6-car length advantage into turn number 1.
Transportation Services number 3 RS working off the corner. 3-car length advantage now over Stuart Friesen. Eric Rudolph has had a solid run in the Charlie Rudolph old number 62 ride. Running in third, Shepard has had the CG Maury car in the top 5 all day long. And here comes Gary Lindbergh after Mark Johnson.
Lindbergh to the top shelf, seeing what he can find going after MJ. He'll take the spot away by a nose into turn number 1. Give him the 5 spot, but now Mark Johnson back to the inside, trying to throw the slider. Can't quite do it as Lindbergh will stay even terms with him into turn number 3.
They're still side by side from that position. Meanwhile, off the corner, Tim Fuller still pulling away. Down in front they go. Fuller holds about a 1.2-second advantage over Friesen. Eric Rudolph has been on that bottom lane this entire green flag run so far, holding the 3 spot. Then it's Shepard in 4th, and that battle for 5th still going on as Lindbergh takes a spot away.
As they motor down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4, Lindbergh 5th, Johnson, he rides in 6th, Maresca is 7th. RJ rides in the 8th spot. Alan Johnson sits in position number 9 as they come down into turn number 1 and 2. And now the doctor makes his presence known in the 8th spot as they take the way up into turn number 1 and 2 as the one of Aver rounds out the top 10.
And David Aver charging hard. He just got around a fellow Quebec native, Mario Claire, for that spot. As they work down the front straightaway, though, Tim Fuller and Stuart Friesen. That gap still at about 1.2 seconds as we work through quarters 1 and 2.
Ladisor down the back straightaway off the pace a little bit as Fuller bearing down on him as the 66 of Friesen starting to reel him in. And here comes Eric Rudolph. Rudolph, a former sportsman champion for Super Dirt Week, brings it off at turn number 4, riding in the 3rd spot, closing in on the top 2 with 18 to go.
As they work through turns 1 and 2, that gap still about 3 car lengths down in the exit corner number 2. Eric Rudolph has gone about a straightaway before Matt Shepard number 14 comes off the corner. The 28 of Gary Lindbergh sets back there in the 5 spot. Mark Johnson going after him as we work in lap number 83.
Dancing down into the turn, Fuller works the top side. Friesen follows in the tire tracks. Rudolph does the same as they have opened up about a half a straightaway advantage over the number 14 of Matt Shepard as they exit corner number 2 and down into 3 and 4. Fuller still with the advantage as they come off the line.
Right, Bresnahan got a piece of the wall over there in turns 3 and 4, but he was able to collect it up. Meanwhile, your race leader, Tim Fuller, still working his way on that top lane through quarters 1 and 2. Stuart Friesen not really able to do too much with him, though, as he's been in his tire tracks this entire green flag run.
Off of corner 4 this time, 15 laps will remain in the Rosselli Northern. Salute to the troops 150 for Tim Fuller. He has led since the drop of the green. Friesen still right there to challenge. Can't get any closer right now than about 6 car lengths as Rudolph pedaling hard to close in on the top 2. They're now 3/4 of a straightaway over the 4th place car of Matt Shepard, who has Gary Lindbergh starting to reel him in into turn number 3.
Working it down into turn 1 and 2. Fuller still has the advantage. He's working to the back bumper of Roy Bresnahan. We'll see which lane Tim Fuller picks. And could this allow Friesen and Rudolph to close in as they head into turns 3 and 4? Fuller goes to the bottom. Stuart Friesen's going to keep it wound up on the top shelf. Here comes Stuart down on the low side off of 4.
Working it down into the turn. Let's see how it plays out. Fuller, car length advantage over the Friesen 66 and Rudolph right there with him. Traffic in front of him off of turn number 2. Fuller will clear the number 02 of Bresnahan down into turn number 3, but he's caught up behind the 19. Here comes Friesen. Friesen right there. Rudolph down on the bottom in traffic as they work their way off of turn number 4 down to the line. And it's going to be the number 3 machine of Fuller, but here comes Friesen off of turn number 2.
And he's got Eric Rudolph right there with him as well as they bring it off the corner. Fuller's able to hold the spot, about a 2-car length advantage once again as they head into turns 3 and 4. Now Rudolph tries to go to the inside of Friesen as they work it off on corner number 4. A great 3-car battle.
Phelps, that's Chad Phelps, about to go a lap down. He does go a lap down to Fuller as the 66 of Friesen gets by, as Chris Raby slaps the wall. And here comes Rudolph to the inside of Phelps. He gets around the slower car. While he does that, he puts it up in front of the number 66 of Friesen, as Friesen charging back on the top side. Fuller caught in heavy traffic as they work off the turn. 90 will be in the books. 10 to go this time by.
And Rudolph does the slider. He picks up the 2 spot as they go into turn number 1. Now will he have some time to get by Fuller, as Fuller once again caught in traffic. Gets by Corey Wheeler down the back straightaway. Tommy Flanagan is next victim as they head into turn number 3. Here comes Rudolph to the inside.
Rudolph took a peek to the low side, couldn't make it work. Car mishandles. He slaps the wall. Rudolph into the wall. Rudolph into the wall with the number 62 car as they complete lap number 91. Yellow lights are on.
Oh man, what a tough break for Eric Rudolph. Car number 62 in a Ransomville, New York, and he has got a flat right rear Hoosier.
Eric Rudolph took the 2nd spot away from Stuart Friesen and was charging in on the number 3 of Tim Fuller. A right rear flat sent him up into the wall as we are under caution with 9 laps to go.
And a similar experience in the Bud Light 200 only moments ago, and now finds himself with another heartbreak here at Super Dirt Week. He pulls into the inside pit area. 9 laps left to go. Tim Fuller has been pretty much the dominant car so far. But Stuart Friesen, he knows what's on the line here, looking to become the 3rd driver to ever sweep Super Dirt Week. Be a big win for that Petruska team, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Well, Eric Rudolph brings the 62 car here into the pits with an absolutely destroyed right rear. Crew going to work on it already. Doesn't appear to be too much other damage, but he has shredded it. Must have been when he got a piece of the boilerplate, it tore it up. And it shouldn't be too much of an issue here for Rudolph, but he is frustrated here in the car. As you can imagine, he's pointing to the crew to the right front to check it out too. And it appears to be all right. The problem still lies with the right rear tire.
Tim Fuller, your race leader, the 2005 358 modified Rosselli Northern Salute to the Troops 100 winner at the New York State Fairgrounds, looking for his 2nd win in the Super Dirt Week 358 championship race. He holds court with 9 to go as Stuart Friesen running in position number 2, while Matt Shepard's 14 sits in 3rd. Gary Lindbergh rides in the 4th spot. Mark Johnson holding on to position number 5. Mike Maresca is 6th. Ronnie Johnson 7th. Danny Johnson 8th. Alan Johnson 9th. And Mario Claire completes the top 10 with 9 circuits remaining, as Eric Rudolph still down on the pit lane.
Wow, frustration in the cockpit here as Rudolph just keeps shaking his head. Dejected, as you can imagine, he was making a run, Shane, and it quite possibly could have been his race here. He was coming on at the perfect time with just a few to go.
Corey Wheeler in the number 47S and the number 19 of Chad Phelps set around, as they will pick up at the tail of the lead lap. They're lucky the Easy Pass recipients, so they will move around. As Eric Rudolph will come back out on to the speedway. Safety crews picking up some parts and pieces over there in turn number 1, taking a quick tour of the speedway.
Gina was taking a look at Chad Phelps' 19. I don't know if you can spot it or not. It looks to me like hanging out the right side door is the exhaust.
Well, guys, we're monitoring Tim Fuller's radio, and he is not happy at all with some of these lapped cars, showing his displeasure on the radio to the team, and he is hoping for fresh air out front. You can imagine that. And he's going to get that here for the last 9, it looks like.
Well, you're absolutely right, Tim. It is the exhaust of the number 19 of Chad Phelps hanging out of his race car. Is that body pushed in far enough? And Tim Fuller is going to have his wish. He will have clear racetrack in front of him, 9 laps away from the conclusion of this Rosselli Northern 358 modified Salute to the Troops 100. as they are showing the white flag to Stuart Friesen in the 66, the Atlas Paving Rod. Have anything for the number 3 RS of Tim Fuller, Matt Shepard, Gary Lindbergh, the 3J of Mark Johnson, Mike Maresca, Ronnie Johnson, the 27J of the Doctor, Danny Johnson, Alan Johnson, right behind him, the 22 of Mario Claire, the 1 of David A. Bear. Ready to go green. Field will make their way over to turn number 3 and 4. The VP Racing Fuels making PowerPoint. Fuller will put the foot to the floorboard. Looking to bring it through corner number 3 and 4. Matt Burdick, what do you say? We say green as they come off the turn, and they are back underway.
9 laps left to decide the Rosselli Northern Salute to the Troops 150. Fuller's got the outside lane. Here comes Friesen a bit for the lead down the back straightaway.
And it will be Fuller winning the drag race off the turn as Stephen A. Bear slaps the wall. And mid-pack, he gets it collected back up. Meanwhile, as the 28 of Gary Lindbergh comes up to position number 4, he is coming after the number 14 of Matt Shepard into turn number 1 and 2 for a podium finish.
And Gary Lindbergh is right there with a Mark Johnson, also trying to pull up the challenge. Johnson trying to get by. Gary Lindbergh says he'll have no part of that. Well, Mike Maresca trying to move it as well. He rides back there in spot number 6, but Tim Fuller looks like he's pulling away down the front chute.
Fuller opens up a little bit of breathing room right now. Give him 7 car lengths as they hit turn number 1. As Mike Maresca now entering the fray, joining the battle with the number 2 of Ronnie Johnson, the 3 of Mark Johnson, and the 28 of Gary Lindbergh. They'll race together down into turn number 3. That's the battle for 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Ronnie Johnson trying to move in and take the spot away from Maresca, but no such luck that time. Meanwhile, back up to the front of the field. Fuller still stabilizing that lead to about 4 car lengths. Stuart Friesen knows what's on the line here. He's trying to run him down as he hit the back straightaway.
He's starting to see that red and white number 3 get a little bit smaller as he's pulling away just a little bit as they work their way off the turn. A handful remain, 5 to go this time by for your race leader, Tim Fuller, into turn number 1 and 2.
And the top 2 drivers right now, they got about a straightaway on Matt Shepard, who's having a good run with the CG Morio number 14 ride. Talked to Matt earlier this week about that race car. He says he thought it was good. Caution flag is going to be coming out here as Mikel Perron slows to a stop.
Ultra Entrepreneur General number 25 of Mikel Perron coming to a stop just to the entrance of turn number 1 as we are under yellow.
Mikel out of Granby, Quebec. Former 360 sprint car standout, now turning his attention to modified racing this year. Has not yet gotten to victory lane, but he's had several good runs this year as well. Seems like once Tim Fuller gets a little heat in that right rear Hoosier Racing tire, that's when things really go good for him. And Stuart Friesen, if he's going to want to get by Fuller, he's going to have to do it on a restart. Matt Shepard still holding the 3rd spot. Gary Lindbergh, very impressive first-year season in 358 competition. 2 wins this year at the Merrittville Speedway, and he got his first career win right out of the box.
You know, guys, I've been watching Gary Lindbergh since he was a Craig Sportsman driver, and he just kind of drives out of the box over the edge the whole time. This guy is to the wall every single lap. Very impressive to watch Gary race. You're not going to meet a nicer guy. Super polite, no ego at all. Just a really good dude.
Had a very successful career, as you mentioned, in the sportsman division. Clinton won a lot of races out there in the Merrittville, Ransomville, Humberstone area over the years.
5 laps complete. 5 to go. Tim Fuller, the race leader, followed by Stuart Friesen, Matt Shepard, Gary Lindbergh, and Mark Johnson. The top 5 right now. Great run so far for RJ. Ronnie Johnson running back there in the 7th spot, the Fonda Speedway track champion.
White flag from starter Matt Burdick being displayed.
Well, Shane, if I could jump in here, just to follow up on the Lindbergh thing, I'm standing beside them, and I know his brother Paul and father Denny was a legendary driver in the Niagara region also. They picked a sportsman driver who was wrecked here earlier in the week, And they said, just you and your dad here? He said, yeah, just me, Dad, and Larry, and Gary here today. So they picked up one sportsman driver who was wrecked to pick up their crew. And some days you got to come on a shoestring budget, but they'll be solidly happy to finish fourth here today.
Ready to go green one more time. Fuller looking to hold on for his first 358 modified. Salute to the troops. 100 Roselli Northern feature win here at Napa Auto Parts Super Dirt Week since 2005. He sets the pace. Friesen gave him a good look last time on the restart. What happens this time as they make their way through turn number 3 and 4 back under green?
Green lights are on. Tim Fuller able to get away. Stuart Friesen's going to try one lane more. Here comes Matt Shepard in a bit for the 2 spot. He's going to throw the slider on Friesen off the corner.
He doesn't move up quite enough. He gives the 66 breathing room on the top side. Shepard's going to work the bottom. Friesen down up on the top as they come off the turn. 96 and 4 this time as we've got Chris Raby up on the wall in the back straightaway as we are under yellow.
Caution flag is out for the Cornwall Motor Speedway track champion for 2016, and he's able to pull it off the wall and get away. Chris, a lot of tough luck this week at a brand new big block modified that they wanted to try to qualify for the Bud Light 200. Ended up losing the motor on the initial practice session on Wednesday here at the Oswego Speedway, and running this car for the 358 Super Dirt Car Series events at Brewerton and Weedsport, and here at Oswego, he is the points leader in this series, so he's looking to wrap up that title, but right now, just things not going his way.
Chris Raby, 0-1 machine. Looked like he was caught up on the wall. Did I see something different?
It looked to me like he was up on the wall too. Maybe it was just the tire that was on there and he possibly just snapped the gas and got it off the wall himself. So
that's the case, guys. He had it about 1/4 up on the wall, and the right rear was fortunately on top of the wall, and he was able to get some drive and just drove off of it himself.
All right, thank you, Clint. 96 are in. 4 remain. Let's try this one more time. As last time, the 14 of Shepard gave Friesen a look for the 2 spot. They'll get the green at the VP Racing Fuels making PowerPoint back underway.
Fuller once again able to get away down into turns 1 and 2. Here comes Shepard. One more try down on the bottom, and he may have the position as they work off the corner.
Bringing it down into turn number 3 is Mark Johnson running in 4th. Gary Lindbergh 5th. Mike Maresca right there for 6th. We watch the battle for the 2 spot. Shepard to the inside of Friesen. This is allowing the Fuller number 3 to open up some breathing room with 3 to go.
Tim Fuller says, go right ahead, drive on away. And Friesen able to take the 2nd spot back. Here comes Mark Johnson. A bit for 3rd. Couldn't quite do it off the turn.
2 to go this time by as Fuller works it down into turn number 3 and 4. Parallel sticks are in the air. They'll bring it up into the corner and off the turn as Friesen starting to lose a little bit of sight into turn number 1 and 2. As now Johnson tries to the inside of the Shepard 14 one more time.
And he hurts the bottom lane. He's going to try to do it off the corner. Shepard pulls, even turns with him down the back stretch. Danny Johnson looked like he was slow off the pace off of corner number 2, but right now Tim Fuller sees the white flag.
Final time here for the Roselli Northern. Salute to the troops. 100 starts right now into turn number 1 and 2. As they work their way off the corner, it is Tim Fuller down the back straightaway in the Randy and Bobby Slacko number 3 RS machine as Shepard's off the pace on the back stretch. Fuller brings it through corner number 3 and 4. Checkered flags will wave and Tim Fuller wins the Roselli Northern. Salute to the troops 100.
Stuart Friesen will cross in position number 2. Mark Johnson, Gary Lindbergh, Mike Maresca, your top 5. What a dominant performance here in the Roselli Northern. Salute to the troops 100 for Tim Fuller. His 2nd championship at Super Dirt Week in the 358 Modified.
Well, I'm going to bring Clinton Jeffries in to talk about this for just a minute. But, Clint, you've seen these guys race this car, as you mentioned, out at the Maryville Speedway, that Wegner W16 motor. $12,000 complete to strap that between the pipes of that race car, and it did its job here in Super Dirt Week.
Boy, did it ever. I mean, they put him in this car early in the year. They went out, won a race just to test it out. And Fuller will be the first one to tell you he's not a fan of Crate Motors, but he understands the value of what this will do for the guys who, we had 80 plus sportsman teams here this week that would possibly entertain the thoughts of moving up. And Tim Fuller pulls down in here into pit lane, and he'll salute the crew, and he'll come back around to the scales. But that's exactly, Shane, this may be the future of small block racing here, simply because it is so cost effective. You don't need 30, 40, 50 grand anymore. You need about 15.
They got their